Part 1. Frequency 104.2. The room was a cavern of shadows, saved from total darkness only by the flickering cerulean glow of a laptop screen and a tangled web of LED strips. Outside, the rain didn't just fall, it drummed against the glass with a frantic, rhythmic persistence. Elias sat hunched over a relic, an old shortwave radio he'd salvaged from a garage sale. The plastic was cracked, and the dial felt like grinding bone. Everyone in Oakhaven thinks the midnight dead air is just dead. Static, white noise to help you sleep. But if you tune your dial to 104.2, right between the pop station and the emergency weather band, you'll hear it. He turned the knob a fraction of a millimeter. The harsh, biting hiss of white noise filled the room, then suddenly dipped into something rhythmic. Thump-shh, thump-shh. It was a heavy, metallic pulse. It's not a signal, it's a heartbeat. And tonight, it started beating faster. Elias's fingers flew across his keyboard, pulling up a raw waveform monitor. The green line on his screen wasn't just oscillating, it was spiking into jagged, aggressive peaks. Suddenly, the pulse broke. A voice bled through the speaker, distorted, echoing, as if three people were trying to speak through a single throat. Latitude 42. The door is unlocked. Do not look at the moon. Elias froze. His gaze drifted toward the window. The moon was a swollen silver eye in the sky, far too bright for a rainy night. What do you mean, unlocked? Then came the sound from downstairs, a heavy, mechanical clack. It was the distinct sound of the front door's deadbolt sliding open of its own accord. The floorboards groaned as the door swung wide on its hinges. My parents are heavy sleepers. Or maybe they're not sleeping at all. Maybe the signal got to them first. He grabbed his phone, the flashlight cutting a lonely path through the hallway's gloom. Every shadow seemed to stretch toward him. He reached the threshold of the front door and looked out at the street. The neighborhood was silent, but the streetlights were malfunctioning. They weren't flickering, they were dimming and brightening in a slow, hypnotic swell. It's a broadcast, a physical broadcast. He stepped onto the porch, the wet air chilling his skin. He looked at the house next door, then the one after that. Every single front door on the street was standing wide open. In the center of the asphalt stood a figure, neck craned back, staring directly into the lunar glow. Mr. Henderson? The figure turned. It wasn't a face that met Elias's light. It was a smooth, featureless pane of glass reflecting the moon's silver surface. The radio in Elias's pocket erupted into a high-pitched, piercing feedback loop. Thank you for receiving the update. Installation complete. Elias looked down at his own hands. Beneath his skin, thin, glowing blue filaments began to lace through his veins, pulsing in time with the moon. He opened his mouth to scream. The scariest part isn't that they're coming for us, it's that we've been waiting for them to turn us on.
Part 2. The Network of Oakhaven.
The scream never left Elias's throat. Instead, his jaw locked and a sound like a hard drive spinning up hummed behind his teeth. The blue light under his skin wasn't just a glow. It was warm, moving with the terrifying efficiency of a liquid circuit. I can feel everything. Every Wi-Fi signal in the air, every smart bulb on the street. It's like 1,000 whispers inside my brain. He looked back at the figure in the street, the things that used to be Mr. Henderson. It wasn't just standing there anymore. It began to move, its glass face shimmering. It didn't walk, it glided, its movements too smooth, too frame-perfect to be human.
He's not looking at me. He's looking through me, like I'm just another node on a map, a piece of hardware that finally got plugged in.
Elias stumbled back toward his open front door, but his legs didn't feel like his own. They were heavy, governed by a lag he couldn't control. Across the street, more doors were opening. One by one, his neighbors stepped out into the rain. They all moved in perfect, terrifying synchronization, their necks craning upward to the silver moon at the exact same angle.
Mom? Dad? Please, wake up!
He scrambled upstairs, his flashlight beam dancing wildly against the walls. He burst into his parents' room. They were sitting bolt upright in bed, eyes wide and glazed, reflecting the moonlight streaming through the window. They weren't moving. They weren't even blinking. They weren't heavy sleepers. They were just downloading. The radio wasn't a warning. It was the installer. Suddenly, the shortwave radio in his bedroom let out a deafening, rhythmic chime, the sound of a notification that echoed through every house in the neighborhood simultaneously. Syncing peripheral devices. Network stability 88%. Commencing stage 2. Elias looked at his laptop. The waveform monitor was gone. In its place was a map of Oakhaven. Thousands of tiny blue dots were blinking. As he watched, one dot in the center of the map turned red. The red dot. It's my house. Why is it the only one that's red? From the hallway, he heard the sound of footsteps. Not the smooth glide of the glass-faced things, but the heavy, stumbling trudge of something trying to fight its own programming. Someone else is fighting it. Or something is coming to fix the error in the system. And I think I'm the error. Part 3. The Corrupted Handshake. The hallway floorboards groaned again. It wasn't the rhythmic, perfect stride of the things outside. It was a heavy, dragging sound. Scrape. Step. Scrape. Whatever is coming down that hall, it's not synced. It's heavy, it's loud, and it's stopping right outside my door. Elias scrambled backward, his back hitting the cold metal of his radiator. His glowing hands fumbled for anything, a heavy book, his lamp, but his fingers felt like they were made of stiff plastic. The door handle began to turn. Not a smooth mechanical rotation, but a violent, jerky twist. The red dot. The error. It's me. I'm the bug in their system, and they've sent the debugger. The door flew open. Standing in the frame was his younger sister, Maya. But she wasn't like the others. Her skin wasn't glowing with neat blue circuits. Instead, thick black cables, like organic veins, were pulsing beneath her neck, and her eyes were leaking a dark, viscous fluid that shimmered like oil. Maya, what did they do to you? Elias, help. Can't. Stop. The upload failed. Rewrite. Rewrite! She lunged. Her movements were a blur of flickering static, appearing and disappearing as if she were a corrupted video file. Elias dived to the side, his own glowing hands accidentally brushing against the shortwave radio on his desk. The moment he touched the radio, a surge of feedback blasted through the room. Maya screamed, a sound of pure binary code, and collapsed, her body twitching as the black veins under her skin dimmed. The radio. It's not just the transmitter. It's a grounded circuit. If I touch it, I'm not part of the network anymore. I'm a short circuit. He looked out the window. The things in the street had stopped looking at the moon. They had all turned in perfect unison to face his bedroom window. Their glass faces were no longer reflecting the moon. They were displaying a single, pulsing red icon. They know I found the off switch, and now the whole neighborhood is coming to plug me back in.